You're dialed into IFQ FM. And we're on episode 9, so we're coming in hot when you're on those double digits. A little bit of housekeeping. I'm sure if you've been listening, you've heard us foreshadowing that episode 10 is going to be our UK special. So if you want all things fucking UK music, stick around for the next release. And yeah, so we're kicking it off tonight. I was saying to Gillian earlier, I'm on the low and slow. You're going to have to call me Mr. Barbecue tonight because everything I've got is fucking slow. So get ready for it. I know that you've probably got a little bit of different shit to sprinkle in there, so it'll be like a nice little balance of everything. But yeah, I also have another announcement. Tonight is going to be my final show using Spotify. Yeah, fuck.
Why is that, homie?
Fuck, all my homies hate Spotify.
My homies.
Yeah. I might go back to YouTube Music, or I might go to Tidal. I see all the homeboys on Tidal with their high res files, but I just gotta make sure everyone's on there, man. Like Bandcamp's got the good stuff, but I mean they don't have a streaming platform. But yeah, just hope I can still get all those real small band, real small release shit. So I'll see. Big announcements. What streaming platform will Priestley use next week?
All the real underground elitists know that YouTube Music is the fucking shit, dude. Mm-hmm. It's the fucking good shit. It's got all the premium. It's got all those like weird ass fucking like band topic channels that just like catalog all their music. But no, fucking I'm keeping it a bit high tempo at the start, and then I'm gonna follow the rest. I'm gonna follow you throughout, low and slow, but no guitars allowed except for maybe a guitar or two towards the end. But we're gonna be pretty much electronic, and I'm gonna take it away with our first one. So I mean, you've watched the show before. We usually put the heavy shit at the start. This is what I think is heavy shit, but just in a different way. Priestley, you might recognize this one. We're going to be listening to fucking Woundfucker with the song Over 5 Billion Casualties.
Smoke that bitch. Sour diesel. Smoke that bitch. OG Kush. Smoke that bitch. If it don't hit like Cali, I don't smoke that shit. Kush. Smoke that bitch. Sour diesel. Smoke that bitch. Kush. Smoke that bitch. If it don't hit like Cali, I don't smoke that shit.
That one was Hoosick with the collaboration with DJ SCAMLIKELY with the song Purple Kush. Absolutely legendary sample from Juicy J, probably in their 3-6 days. And that first one with Woundfucker, over 5 billion casualties. I know I've showed you Woundfucker before. I'm massively hyped on Woundfucker. I'm really into that like dirty, ugly, industrial, just gross sounding fucking beats. Very reminiscent of like a yucky industrial techno if you want to. Yeah, fucking just a bit of an enigma artist too. Like I can't really find too much of an actual discography or like an actual track list. I've found at least 3 songs from this person that's all untitled, like they're untitled songs, but they're all 3 different songs. So it can get a little bit annoying just trying to find the one that you want, especially if you're, fucking really jamming on one song. But no, Woundfucker, really fucking cool, and try and get a hold of his music if you can. Now it's time for me to finally put up or shut the fuck up, because I know you've dropped ambient songs twice on 2 different shows, and every time you do, I'm always like, oh, I'm going to play some fucking ambient. Guess what? It's time to play some fucking ambient. I know I've talked to you off mic about like how we differ and shit in terms of ambient. I know you like more sort of low end. Maybe there's a little bit more droning, a little bit more experimental, whereas I'm sort of like little vocal reverb, a lot of airy fairy sort of shit. But this next artist I really fucking like and has a really good discography. Artist's name is DJ Lostboi, and we're going to be listening to the song See Inside. aptly titled track name, Main Menu by Medasin and Mae.Sun. That is a collaboration between the two on the song. Before that, we were listening to DJ Lostboi with the song See Inside. And I really particularly like that one because it's pretty similar throughout. It's 4 tracks, not super long. And that one is called Music for Landings, which I really enjoy. And I love the fact that in each of the songs, he puts like either the noise or a sample of like a plane taking off or a plane descending or, you know, just general airport sort of song or like an airport sample, you know what I mean? I just think it's fucking aptly titled because of, you know, music for landings. Fucking, you know, pop a volume and hop on your plane and chill out.
So funny you say that because we were talking, as I said, a while back about ambient music we like, and I definitely referenced this artist before, Brian Eno, but one of like the most iconic ambient albums of all time is Music for Airports, 1979. So like, I guarantee you that is just like a reference to Brian Eno's Music for Airports. Yep, 100%. Like, yeah.
Really good. If that's the case, man, that is fucking really good homage. That is perfect.
And especially, what's the guy's name again? DJ
Lostboi.
Yeah, DJ Lostboi. Cool. So you know, he's like fucking with the new school shit. You know, he's coming up with his name. He's not trying to be the ambient king, but like he's in the back catalogue. He's seeing the roots. He's finding where shit's coming from. Maybe not. Maybe just parallel ideas. But hey, maybe that's ambient music, man. Like, it's kind of funny if like just the whole creative scene, it just is just that's what it feels like, and maybe they're just drawing similar influences. But I have a little tickle in my brain that says he's giving him a little fucking nod of the cap.
He's giving the little fucking tip of the hat. Hell yeah, dude.
We're just talking as well off mic. That last guy reminded me of Ambulance, who's does YouTube videos in like a way where he plays his music, but he shows you his like setups and not like, hey man, here's my setup. It's just a camera pointing down, and he's just got whatever synth he's working with. He's got a tape loop. He's got it wrapped around a bunch of shit. Anyway, I don't need to explain it. Go look at it if you're interested. I'll probably play him on the show at some point. But yeah, no, that was really cool. And that first one, very cool. It was very, as you said, like airy, very washy.
Yeah. A lot of reverb, a lot of like, you know, vocal patterns with just some big reverb with, you know, large synths to accompany it, and just, really nice and smooth and free flowing, and definitely the kind of shit that I'd probably listen to on takeoff, because I fucking hate flying.
you would really like Music for Airports now I think about it, because there is, I think it's the second track of Music for Airports. It's not a sample, but it's like the choir voicing that you get on keyboards. That is like,
oh cool.
He uses that quite a lot, and I think that's very reminiscent of the way Eno was using that sound for that second track.
You got to put me on. I think I've told you this before. I know nothing about Eno. Hey.
Yeah. Oh, you do. Maybe I'll do an Eno Dick Rider section where I'll do like Bowie, Eno solo, and I'll look at some other stuff that he's done.
That would actually be so sick. That would be so sick, because I know he's done so much shit with so many different people, and I just fucking know nothing.
Yeah,
I've never delved into it.
Yeah, he's a lord when it comes to that. So we're getting to the low and slow. We're going fucking barbecue dad. We're here for a couple of hours. We're going fucking absolute low tempo on all of this shit. I'm going to be playing a few songs here. I would announce this band, but this is actually a live version done at the BBC. I had a look. It's between 1996 and 2003, because the album is a compilation of like live music that they did sessions there and were broadcasted. So here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mogwai.
ashes burning through the yard. Never consumed or the least discouraged. It takes courage, falling so far. Long for nights well spent foraging, living off the land of a midnight sun. There, down in the fields, you'll find me toiling. I know my work is never done.
You're just listening to Full of Nothing, which is full of hell, and the band Nothing. Now, if you're looking for that on streaming services, I'm sure you can type that in, but it is Full of Hell and Nothing. But for this record, the record being When No Birds Sang, they actually did a lot of shows together under the title Full of Nothing. So when this record was announced, or I think the single came out, I was like, holy shit, dude, they're doing it together on tape. So I was very happy to see that. That was the last song off that record. I think it runs at about 28 minutes, 30 minutes. There is some moments on there. See, I struggle a little bit sometimes on the show because there is music that I really like that goes for a lot longer, or they have their moments between songs and it's about 12, 15 minutes. And I would like to highlight that and talk about it, but it's just a little bit hard, especially when we want to keep these episodes a little bit, not too long-winded. But yeah, I recommend for anybody that has not heard that record, go listen to it in full. Because, yeah, there is a lot of songs that build you up for the next one, and then it takes a while to build you up to the next one again. Yeah. It's one of those records you got to spend time with. It's not like an instant listen. You're just going bang, 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 bangers, bangers, bangers. We're listening to it for the long haul. And so, yeah, that was Full of Nothing with When No Birds Sang, 2023. And before then, we were listening to Cloakroom, who actually were a band that I listened to very long ago. And as these guys have been playing this material and also just touring around this time, have been putting on Cloakroom, which has been great. I were putting together this show, and I saw that they'd also put out a recent record. I have not given it a listen. I was listening to it about 20 minutes before we went live. But I was like, you know what, I'm just putting on the classics for me. So I put on Starchild Skull off their record Further Out from 2015. And then before them, we were listening to Duster, who I feel like without Duster, you wouldn't have Cloakroom, and you wouldn't have Nothing. You wouldn't have all these bands. They were a very prolific space rock, post-rock band, very early on, just kind of very lo-fi as well. 4-track, I think that whole thing was on, from the record Stratosphere, which is their seminal record that everybody loves. The song is Echo Bravo. And before then, Mogwai. Everyone knows Mogwai. Very similar. And yeah, that was actually a live tune by them. Hunted by the Freaks off the BBC Government Commission's record that they did 1996 to 2003. So, man, very cool. Loving that older sound. And then we're moving, about 20, 30 years apart of that real slow post-rock, space rock, slowcore. There's so many titles for this sort of stuff. I nearly put in a bunch of other bands because as soon as you start dropping the tempo, but you've kind of got this aggression to it, you could call it all post rock. You could call it all atmospheric rock, but I think they all have their little niches and nuances and little things that make them special. But yeah, there was a nice big bracket of music I thought I'd give to you. I'm a big post-rock dude. I'm a big post-metal dude. I'm into that ambient shit. So it's sometimes hard for me to bring that across because the songs are so long, but I hope you enjoyed that one there. Julian, what do you think? You know, I'm giving you that slow, low and slow tonight.
Yeah, fucking super like it because I'd say like with Duster and Cloakroom, haven't heard of them. Mogwai is a staple. And it's really funny that you mention that Full of Hell record and in particularly that single, because I remember you hitting me up in particular and be like, hey, have you heard the new Full of Hell? Blah, blah, blah. Like, it's the collab record. And I remember telling you like, yeah, man, I heard the single and I didn't think much of it. And you were like, excuse me? Have you heard the album yet? And I hadn't. I'd only heard the fucking single. But you told me specifically just being like, don't even talk to me until you listen to the album. And you're right. It is actually an album that you have to listen to from start to finish. You could maybe come in halfway and get something out of it, but it's an album, like you said, builds you up and then knocks you down with a really heavy fucking track afterwards. And then, you know, lulls you into a false sense of security, and, you know, builds you up again and then knocks you down right at the end. Fucking really good album. But yeah, it's one of those ones that the single didn't work for me, but it's only because I didn't get it in the grand context of the actual album. And then once you hit that album, it's probably one of my favorites. It's definitely one of my favorites in the terms of like that genre and the extremely heavy sort of doom sound, leeching more on from Full of Hell as opposed to Nothing being a bit more shoegaze and lighter. But works out well for me. I fucking really enjoyed most of that shit, and I'll be definitely checking out Cloakroom in particular. I really fucking like. But now we're going to move on to the next shit that I've got, which we're coming back to that electronic sound and very like, what would I say, like faceless artist, hard to find sort of stuff. And I've just recently, this one dropped on my radar recently by an artist called Serpuline. I was saying off mic how sometimes these artists like to be a little bit different and fucking confuse the shit out of you with their song titles having like love hearts and backwards, you know, letters and shit in it. So I had to decipher this one myself. I'm pretty sure it's Loves You Down. And it's just a real heavy sample, like R&B electronic sound that I really fucking enjoy. And I little surprise in there for you for the second song, Priestley. So we'll be now listening to Loves You Dead.
Let me love
Girl, you used to be my home. You be when I wish we switched. You ever home, but I'm leaving me a little time for me. I sleep right now. Baby, I need you. You ain't right over. I said I know. And it's a shame that we couldn't we used to be so close. Yeah, I'm down there, climbing my soul. You don't miss me, who you trying to miss me, think it's somebody else. Think I might do the same, don't tell me that. I ain't get feeling, honestly, nobody got it in me. Funny lying with me, no funny lying with me. That you tell me there's nobody. You tell me there's nobody.
Priestley, you're going to recognize this one. Home Collection 49 with Sorrow's Homecoming. Yeah, that's the second time I've played him. That's the second time I played Home Collection 49. And I fucking personally think...
So that's one of the bingo. You're the first one to play the same artist twice.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, I know. I think I've done that before. I think I've hit double bingo.
No, but it's always been collaborative projects because you could have got me on the Full of Hell thing there, but it's Full of Hell and nothing. And I've done the JPEG, Danny Brown and JPEG. You've done a few things before. So anyway.
Yeah, no, this is just him again. And because I fucking love Home Collection 49 sound. It's I think it's a nostalgic sound to me for some reason. I find a lot of nostalgia in his music, whether it because he's trying to imitate like dubstep Skrillex era, or whether it's because he's trying to, bring nostalgia by playing, the fucking sonic rings noise as a sample. I don't know what it is, but Home Collection 49 deserves to be played on every episode. But before that, it was Serpuline with Loves You Dead, and we have a really strong R&B electronic remix feel with those two songs that I'm a huge fan of. But next up, I'm going to be playing a new artist that I've just listened to for the first time recently. This was like the first song I was introduced to them by, and I think it's the reason why I really like them, because this song threw me off. It starts a certain way and then it hits, and then I went, okay, cool, I'm fucking with this, and I want to listen to the rest of the discography because of it. So I'm going to be playing a new artist from San Francisco by the name of Wisp. This is from a new album that is releasing that unfortunately I can't remember the name at the moment, but this is going to be probably like a big single from it, and it's called Black Swan. That one was Uzumaki by Softcult. And before that, we were listening to Wisp, Black Swan. We were just talking off mic then about how these two in particular are like really palatable in terms of, I guess you'd say, what post-rock shoegaze. I would say they're the pop version of those. And I think they both have just enough sort of differences and specialty nuance to them that I really like them. I really both like Softcult and Wisp for that reason. Just that really sort of accessible version of those post rock and shoegaze sort of bands, because it can go deep, as I'm finding out with like bands like Duster and Cloakroom, which I had no fucking idea about.
And like, I think we've mentioned this before, and like, I know that we make jokes that we're kind of arsehole fucking music listeners, but we also, as you've said before, we're not gatekeepers in the sense that like it has to be something super weird and fucked up for it to be good. And like, the thing is with these bands is they're like accessible and they're more contemporary, and they just have this sound that's reminiscent of weirder bands that we like. And I think that's a good thing. Like, if you can make people want to listen to weird ass fucking music through an accessible song, I think that is amazing. And when like,
gateway bands, man, gateway bands. Like, you fucking listen to Slayer, and then you end up listening to fucking Exodus, and you end up listening, and then next thing you know, you're listening to fucking, Behemoth, Dying Fetus, whatever it may be. They're gateway bands, and like you said, if that means if someone listens to Softcult or Wisp, and then somehow Duster or Cloakroom come into the conversation, or you see something online about how they're similar or draw inspiration from those bands, next thing you know, you're listening to Duster or Cloakroom, and you're listening to some fucking good shit. And there's nothing to say that bands like this aren't good shit as well.
Yeah. And like, we've made the Unk joke a few times, which is a bit of a newer meme, but like, me as like a dad of 2 children, like, they're always going to be listening to fucking weird shit. But, I'm never going to be like, don't listen to that. That's normie garbage, because they're going to fucking hate me. They're going to go, you suck. You don't like anything I like, Yeah. Whereas if I see that they have an interest in something and it's pop punk, and I'm like, well, that's not hardcore. Hardcore is this. But if one day they go, oh man, this is very similar to all the stuff you like, Dad, what's that thing you like? And I show them it, and it opens up the gateway, opens up the floodgates to all these other bands. They might might make something unique. They might make something crazy. They might just go, oh yeah, I like this, and all my friends like this, but my dad is a fucking weirdo who likes all this other shit, who makes this weird radio station. I hear him on a Thursday night talking to himself after a couple of beers, yelling about how good post, brutal hardcore is, and they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Not to mention, like, fucking... What happens when, like, your son or your daughter listens to fucking Blink-182 or some pop punk, but then you catch them in a Descendants shirt? Or maybe you fucking see them wearing a Minor Threat shirt.
Yeah.
Or maybe you see them getting into fucking... Yeah, that's... They're gateway bands, man, and there's nothing wrong with that, and I fucks with it. And fuck it, I like a lot of pop music too.
Yeah.
And who, enjoyable.
Who am I to tell them what the fuck to listen to? And I think that if there's stuff that's more accessible, that is a bit more their speed, speaks more their language, they're talking a bit more in their like era, because we're gonna be fucking old before we know it, man. But yeah, if they, I think that music is constantly evolving, and they're not going to have to listen to everything that I listen to. And if there's bands that are coming out and producing cool sounds that are a little bit, angular, a little bit strange, and they're into it, I'm going to be 100% behind it. And I'm not going to be like, well, it's not the classics, because I'm not a fucking old head like that. I'm just fucking unk.
Yeah, Dad, put on Pink Pantheress and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, cool, let's all go, baby. And then maybe later on you can stay up with Dad when he gets drunk and watches live YouTube concerts in full.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, a little bit too much banter there as usual. So getting towards the end, so this is when we're getting a bit looser, a little bit off the cuff. But yeah, I'm gonna end it with a nice little section of music here. Once again, call me Mr. Barbecue because I'm keeping it low and slow. Going for an absolute goat of the scene, Gillian Welch. If you're into female-fronted country music that ain't that fucking stadium shit, you know what it's about. This album, Time, in brackets, The Revelator, fucking amazing. Like, I listened to this thing front to back so many times. We're going to be listening to the opening track, Revelator, followed by Justin Townes Earl, who R.I.P. Is now gone, son of Steve Earl, country music royalty, even though I think Justin Townes Earl is way better. But that's just my opinion. And this was the last album he put out, Saint of Lost Causes, and this is the tune Frightened by the Sound. But yeah, he's done some stuff, but I feel like this was like deep, dark, brooding. He really was leaning into something here. He had some really good players on the record. He really made this thing. And yeah, it was his last album, and I know he'd been making music for a long time. He'd been out a few times in Australia, and I never got the chance to see him purely because I wasn't on it at that point enough to want to see him, and it wasn't until it was too late that I'd missed it. Then we're going to go back to Jess Ribeiro, Kill It Yourself, 2015. Jess Ribeiro, a Melbourne artist, was putting together this list, and I saw she'd put out something recently, an album. But fuck, I love this. I listened to this thing religiously. Around the same time I was listening to that Gillian Welch record, when I was really finding those female-fronted singer-songwriter Americana country alt records. And then we're going to finish it off with a classic, shoegaze classic, 1993. We're going with Slowdive, off the album Savlaki. We're listening to Dagger, because as much as that was sort of in closer to the first bracket that I was playing, I feel like it kind of rounds this sort of show out real nicely with the low and slow. So strap yourself in for some slow emotional music, because that's where we're going. And thanks again for listening. And if you're here still, please subscribe, give us a fucking comment, give us a hateful comment, give us anything you want, because drive that fucking algorithm, man, because yeah, we're on Mixcloud. Most people are out here on YouTube, and we appreciate y'all that are listening. But yeah, send us some love, send us some hate. We don't give a fuck. Just fucking... Honestly,
send us some hate. If you can make me laugh, I fucking love you. If you can make me laugh because you say something mean about me, I'm gonna fucking... That would be the best shit ever.
Tell us we both have annoying voices, because guess what? we edit the show and all we think about is I said something stupid.
and how fucked we sound constantly.
Yeah, preying on our downfall because it is here.
Darling, silence broken, thunder roll, followed by the bright light from a lightning strike. Wind is picking up to a low mark. Feel the pressure drop. Rain starting to stop, storm coming. The way it's gonna miss us now. Storm coming. Don't be frightened by the sound. A moment of silence, and easy still. Then comes steady rain. Heart against the window pane, but keep an eye on the river. It's already up. There's no need to worry yet. Let us not forget that last time the rain come down like this, so much was lost. We'll never know the true cost. Storms come. No way it's gonna miss us now. A storm coming. Don't be frightened by the sound. There's so much at stake. How far will it go? Only a fool will play such a battle. Which way the wind's gonna blow? So there's no way of knowing what the damage will be. We can't just live on hope. We'll never get out alone. Storm coming. The way it's gonna miss us now. Storm coming. Don't be frightened by the sound of it. Be frightened by the sound.
Sharpen the blade. Don't make a fuss. As fast as you can, kill it yourself. Take her out to the back. Hold her close, unsentimental. Kill it yourself. Hold her down, quiet and firm. When she bleeds, let it all out. Kill it yourself. Take a deep breath in. She won't bite in. Between your thighs is warm and calm. Kill it yourself. Clean it all out. Bring it inside. Take a deep breath. plucked. God's in the bucket, kill it yourself.